Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, and kids. Let's get some kids watching the channel, guys. Today we're going to go over one method of llama training. It's called desensitizing. So the goal here is for your llamas to become more comfortable with touch in areas that they don't like to be touched, and more comfortable with you and more trusting. One mistake that I think that people make, and that I've made a lot as a llama owner and trainer, is that we want our llamas to get to our end goal too fast. And so we'll start young animals, for example, that are 6 months, 12 months, 18, 24, 36 months, and we'll want them to, boom, be like a 7-year-old, 8-year-old pack llama that just knows how to do everything. And my thought has always been, after training llamas, it happens slow, happens over time, and it's incremental, and it's built upon what you did previously. And so these guys, we used to bring llamas to this stage and haven't passed this by this point, but we've learned to kind of just slow it down and do it in systems. And for a large herd, it's hard to do 60 to 70, 80 offspring in a year, with 70, 80 offspring being from the year before and the year before that, and to bring them through all the stages fast. And we realized we've had to do it slow, and we've learned through that it's probably a better method. Patience, imagine that. So desensitizing, our goal today is for these guys to end up better than they were. And I'm going to try to show you guys all the methods we use. So these guys are going to have kind of a test put on them. We're going to run them through the ringer. We've got one llama that's pretty mild, easy going. That's his natural temperament. And we've got another llama, and Talus. That's his name. Talus is pretty easy going. Naturally, he's just a pretty chill dude. You see him over there laying down. And the other guy, he's a little sparky. His name is Cypher, and he is more upbeat, more blow, 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 go fast, way more impatient, and I would say mentally he's a little bit immature. Now this guy's almost 50 inches already, and he's still growing, and I gotta think that llamas that haven't developed physically also probably haven't fully developed mentally. And I think Talus over there, I think he is closer to the end of his physical maturity, and I think his mental space has always been there. He's always been really strong in the mind. So we're going to show you two different llamas, same exact age. There'll be 3 this spring, and here in 3 or 4 months, and we'll just jump right into it. Okay, so one of the first things I like to do when we're trying to desensitize the llamas is something that you can be next to them, you can communicate with them verbally a lot. And so we get, this is just a cattle sorting stick. You can sort anything with it, including your kids. Yeah. But it's just a fiberglass, I don't know, it's probably 5 feet sorting stick. They're 20 bucks or something like that. And they're very bendy, very flexible. And what we're gonna do is, llamas don't like to be touched on the legs. They don't like to be touched underneath their belly. They don't like to be touched on their face or in between their legs or down on their ankles. And a lot of reasons why that is because llamas in the wild will try to injure each other by biting the legs, front and back, biting the tail, biting the testicles, biting the ears. And so inherently llamas just don't like those places being touched. But when you're in the backcountry and you're packing your llamas, you got to put on the saddle. It's got to go between their legs. It's got to go on their back. It's got to go on their belly. It's got to go over by their chest and their brisket. And you walk around them all the time. You put stuff on them all the time. And you need your llamas to be calm and sensitive when little kids touch their feet and legs. And so this is a really important skill for your llamas to know and be okay with. And it's probably one of the harder ones to teach them, but they get better at it. So this is a method I use. I'm not going to really talk to you guys a whole lot. I'm just going to kind of show you some of the things that I do. And it's not necessarily poking or prodding. It's a lot of touching and rubbing. And so we're using this as an extension of our arm. And we're doing it because when you're about 5 or 6 feet away from your llama, you're not really in their space. You're not in their personal bubble yet. And when you're over here this far away, 8 to 12 feet away, they don't even really recognize your presence. But watch how he receives my energy as I get closer to him. You see, kind of once I broke that 5 or 6 foot barrier, he started to react to my presence and react to my energy. Good boy. And so what I want to do is kind of keep myself in just outside of that barrier where he wants to react to my presence. And then I want to just start touching him. because we touch the llamas a lot in the neck and the back for saddling, I'm just trying to get him comfortable to this stick so he knows that it's okay. I just kind of want him to understand that it's an extension of myself and that it's not to be feared. I'm not hardly pushing at all, just so enough that he knows that it's there. Him backing away is a very normal thing for them to do. And it bounces because when he pulls away, I'm trying to keep it there. Good boy. All right. Yes. I'll go to the back of the leg. Good boy. Good boy. Again, this is our mostly mild-mannered llama, Talus. Good boy. I got him on a half tie, so he's got about 2 feet of lead rope here. So I'm going to ask him to come out. I typically want to operate with the llamas when they've got just a 180-degree area to work in instead of 270 or 360. Good boy. So the goal is that's our goal right there. We just want him to understand that it's okay to let us touch the leg, front and back, and have him just be okay with it. Easy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So if they don't like it as you go low, we'll come back up high. Easy. And then we'll just start working our way down low again. Easy. Easy. And we'll go between the legs. He's doing good with that on the inside of the leg. And now we're going down. He's doing better. Easy. Okay. So that's an awesome. We'll stop on a positive note. I wanted to get down to that cannon bone and have him be like, okay, I'm okay with this. We'll just let it stop there. So now we're just gonna tell him, nice job, good boy. Not ask him to do anything. Just let him know I appreciate him, that I respect him, and that he did a nice job. Okay. Showing a little bit of excitement's good too. And I'm not a babier. I don't really baby the llamas, you know. But I definitely let them know that I care about them, that I love them, and that they did a good job. Now I'm anticipating as we go to the same system, we go to Cypher over here, because of his personality, he's going to be harder to do. And so I'm going to approach it the same, and then we'll just take what we can get and see where we can end with this guy. Okay, Cypher. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, I know you don't like it. You want to see it real quick? Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. And it's okay if your llama moves, but you shouldn't have to. You just shouldn't have to move around him. It's alright if they want to move a little bit. It's important that they're comfortable when you're training them. Easy. Easy. Good boy. Now we're going down the leg, down the chest. So you can see that I'm acting a little bit quicker because he keeps fighting it, and I want him to know that it's not going to go away. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not being threatening. Easy. I'm just letting him know that he can keep fighting, but it's just not going to go away. It's just going to stay there. And being calm and collected and not sitting there going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy, boy. Now that's a pretty good win right there. To go from him realizing that it was scary to him using his head and realizing that it's not hurting him. That's a good win, and normally I think I'd stop right there and just come back a few minutes later and try the back legs. Easy. But I'm going to try to get a little more out of him. I think he's stronger than he thinks he is. Good boy, easy. Ooh, good boy. It's all right. We're gonna push him mentally a little bit, buddy. Easy. Go back up to where he found comfort. He found comfort about right here. And we're just gonna slowly work our way down again. Now he's fighting this, but I think he'll get over it. We'll see. Go to the other leg. Cool. Come on, big guy. Up, up. So now we'll go to the back of the leg at the same spot. Easy. Oh, don't be kicking now. Easy. Easy. Good boy. Good boy. Easy. Just I need you to hold still and then we'll be done, okay? Alright. Rubbing it. Be a little more patient with yourself, buddy. Easy. Alright, that's what we're looking for. See? You can kind of look at their face and realize that they've accomplished something, you know? They learned something. So he did good. We're going to give him a break. We're going to show you another technique. I have quite a few techniques. We'll show you as many as we have time today. And so that's one that I like to do a lot. I'll do on all of our llamas, and it's one that I like to start with a lot of the times. And I'll do the back legs underneath, but we just did the front legs today just to kind of give you an idea of what it's like, and desensitizing training. We'll just go ahead and jump into part 2. Okay, so we're going to work with cipher again. Now, this is another method of desensitizing. When you're saddling up a llama, you have lots of different cinches and a lot of buckles and straps, and then you have top packs, and sometimes you put your backpack on there or whatever. Just like a lot of awkward things. And so we, a lot of times when we're desensitizing, we're working with the animal and we're around them the whole entire time. So a lot of times they can think in their head, well, they keep touching me and probing me. But if you can desensitize your llamas when you're not necessarily around and you're not the impact of their uncomfort, I think it can really help break the habit that you're trying to overcome. It can be really helpful. So what I'm going to do with this rope is you always want to make sure that you're visually watching your animals after you do this method, and you just kind of watch them. You got to be here to make sure that nothing crazy happens. So what I'm going to do is approach old Cipher, and I'm going to start putting rope around him a little bit. And this is trying to mimic what might happen when you put the saddles and cinches and panniers and buckles and straps. And I'm going to put it over his feet and around his tail and in between his legs, and just a lot of really uncomfortable places on his ear, up and around his tail. And now I'm going to go grab a few more things to put on him here. Easy. So I got some of our stakeout leads, and I like these because they have a little bit of weight at the end. And I kind of want him to bounce and hit his legs and hit his flank and stuff. And so, you know, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm very happy with how he's reacting to this. And so I'm just going to let him sit here for a while. And sometimes if nothing's happening and he's doing such a good job, I'll walk around him and try to cue him to just walk a little bit in his position, and so that the rope kind of hits his feet and his toes and his ears and his legs and underneath his belly and all the stuff. And then just so he kind of just mellows out. Okay, go around, big guy. There you go. So again, he's getting touched by lots of different things and lots of different places, and you can go and adjust it every few minutes and just let him deal with it, you know. And sometimes I don't like to do this unless your llama has kind of gone through some desensitizing already. But if you have gone through desensitized training and they're not doing good, what you can do is jump into this, and so they realize, hey, it's not Bo that is doing this, it's the rope. And then once they realize that it's not you, that it's something else, and that it's okay, then they'll realize when you do it, it's okay. And I've seen this help us kind of jump some hurdles with llamas that were really struggling with it. So we're going to show you 2 more methods. We're going to go ahead and do the next one. Okay, this is method number 3, desensitizing your llamas. And we use a tarp. In the horse world, horses, they don't like tarps, they don't like sacks, and they freak out about everything. And so llamas do a lot better job. But what I'm going to do is something that almost never you'll do to your llamas, and that's, you know, put a blanket or tarp all over their bodies. And so we're going to go ahead and put this tarp on him. And the goal is for him just to realize that it's I'm asking him to do something crazy, and it's not going to hurt him, and he just needs to trust me. And then it kind of helps him build trust in me more than any kind of desensitizing training, but it also adds a little bit of that. So we're going to go ahead and put it on him. Okay, we got this big tarp here, okay? Good boy. What do you think, buddy? Huh? Good boy. Good boy. Okay, I'm gonna come say hi. Good boy. Now I'm just going to kind of walk away and just let him see what he does and deal with it. A lot of times he'll try to get it off and it will come off. So I'm just going to watch him, let him hang out for a few minutes like that. Good boy, Mr. Talus. Well, this is Talus, and he did a great job training today. You know, we spent roughly about 15 minutes with this guy, and that's plenty. He did a good job, hit a couple milestones, and he still got the tarp on him, so we're going to pull it off and go put him away. We got one more thing to show you, which we're going to show you with Cypher. Pull the tarp off, we're going to go pull Cypher's ropes off. He's doing really good, but I think his mental capacity is about done, so. Good boy. All done. All done. Easy, we're going to take all this stuff off. Easy, boy. That's good. That's good. I think the process of taking this off is probably as valuable as putting it on and letting him sit there with it. But what do I know? What do I know, Cypher? Just learning. Aren't we all learning? Okay, buddy. Good boy. Anyway, this guy's going to be, I think, a big-time breeder once he's adulted and become a commercial packer. I really like them to prove themselves on the trail and through all the training process before we breed them, but this guy has quite a bit of merit based on his structure, athleticism, and genetics. And so does Talus, but he's already in the mix. So, all right, we're taking Cypher to the, as he would call it, the scary zone. This is the last method, and maybe one of the best for desensitizing your llamas. Okay, so what we have here, this is a circuit, I believe it's a circuit 2 blower, and it has heat, so won't be adding any cold to the boy. And what we're going to do is it just blows air, just constant high pressure air, and it kind of hits the llamas, hits them, flushes out their wool, and then it kind of just numbs the spot where they're at just a little bit, just because of the repetitiveness of the air. And it works really well to get them used to being touched in funky places with something very unique that they normally would never in the wild be touched by. And so here we go. It works. So I start far away, just so he understands what's kind of taking place. And I'm probably 4 or 5 feet away, and it's just barely hitting his wool. And then I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna go broad and be closer, and then I'm gonna go micro and be really close and hit certain spots until he just kind of realizes that he just needs to stand there. So the goal is that he just stands there and lets this touch him throughout his whole body. So we obviously won't do it in the nose, in the mouth, in the eyes or ears. So here we go. Now I want him to relax a little bit. He's pretty tense and kind of hanging back on the lead rope there, but he did a pretty dang good job. One little bit. Well, that's the end of our desensitizing. So that's one of our last common methods that we use, and he did a great job. Old Cypher is going to be a real beauty. Hope you guys take me up on it and use them for stud services down the road if you got a llama ranch. If you don't have a llama ranch, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys being part of the Llama Life family. Had a fun time making this video. As you can tell, training llamas just puts me in a good mood, makes me happy, and I love seeing them progress. And so just a big win. Thanks for following. Subscribe to the channel if you wouldn't mind, if you like what you see, and put some comments down below and let us know some other videos that we could do in the future, and we'll try to get to them. Have a good rest of your week. We'll see you next Wednesday.